Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the City Planning Commission's public hearing held in Spector Hall, 22 Reade Street. Today is Wednesday, February 5th, 2014. Madam Secretary, please begin.
Good morning. This is the City Planning Commission public meeting held in Spector Hall, 22 Reade Street. Today is Wednesday, February 5th, 2014. As a courtesy during the proceedings, we ask that you please turn off all cell phones and beepers. All speakers should fill out a speaker's card at the desk outside of Spector Hall. In addition, we ask that those providing testimony please identify yourself, limit your remarks to 3 minutes, and speak clearly into the microphone. I will now call the roll. Vice Chair Knuckles?
Here.
Commissioner Battaglia?
Here.
Commissioner Besser?
Here.
Commissioner Cantor? Commissioner Cerullo?
Here.
Commissioner Chen? Commissioner Delausse? Commissioner Del Toro?
Here.
Commissioner Dweck? Here. Commissioner Eady?
Here.
Commissioner Levin?
Here.
Commissioner Marin? A quorum is present. The first item is the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of Wednesday, January 22nd, 2014.
On the minutes, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The minutes are approved.
Scheduling. On calendar numbers 1 through 4, we have resolutions for adoption. Scheduling Wednesday, February 19, 2014, for a public hearing to be held in Spector Hall, 22 Reade Street.
On the resolutions, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The resolutions are adopted.
The next part of the calendar is the report section on page 27. Borough of Queens, calendar number 5, CD8, C120178ZMQ. In the matter of an application for an amendment of the zoning map concerning Union Turnpike rezoning. For a favorable report on calendar number 5. Vice Chair Nichols?
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia?
Yes.
Commissioner Besser?
Yes.
Commissioner Cerullo?
Yes.
Commissioner Chen? Commissioner Delausse? Commissioner Del Toro? Commissioner Dweck? Commissioner Eady?
Yes.
Commissioner Levin?
Yes.
A favorable report has been adopted on calendar number 5. Borough of Brooklyn, calendar number 6, CD6, in the matter of an application for an...
I think that's the Bronx.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I said Bronx? Borough of the Bronx. Okay. Calendar number 6, CD6, in the matter of an application concerning 2 city-owned properties. For a favorable report on calendar number 6. Vice Chair Knuckles?
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia?
Yes.
Commissioner Besser?
Yes.
Commissioner Cantor? Commissioner Cerullo?
Yes.
Commissioner Chen?
Yes.
Commissioner Delausse?
Yes.
Commissioner Del Toro?
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck? Commissioner Eady?
Yes.
Commissioner Levin?
Yes.
A favorable report has been adopted on calendar number 6. Borough of Brooklyn, calendar number 7, CD1, N140099ZRK, in the matter of an application for an amendment of the zoning resolution concerning the East River Text Amendment. For a favorable report on calendar number 7, Vice Chair Knuckles?
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia?
Yes.
Commissioner Besser?
Yes.
Commissioner Cerullo?
Yes.
Commissioner Chen? Commissioner Delausse?
Yes.
Commissioner Del Toro?
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck? Commissioner Eady?
Yes.
Commissioner Levin?
Yes.
A favorable report has been adopted on calendar number 7. Excuse me. Borough of Brooklyn, calendar number 8, CD18, C140122PPK, in the matter of an application for the disposition of 1 city-owned property concerning Yeshiva Rambam. For adoption on calendar number 8, Vice Chair Knuckles?
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia?
Yes.
Commissioner Besser?
Yes.
Commissioner Cantor? Commissioner Cerullo?
Yes.
Commissioner Chen? Commissioner Delausse? Commissioner Del Toro? Commissioner Dweck? Commissioner Eady?
Yes.
Commissioner Levin?
Yes.
A favorable report has been adopted on calendar number 8. Borough of Staten Island, calendar number 9, CD3, N140208RCR, in the matter of an application for the grant of a certification concerning 434 and 440 Darlington Avenue. For adoption on calendar number 9. Vice Chair Knuckles?
Yes.
Commissioner Battaglia?
Yes.
Commissioner Besser?
Yes.
Commissioner Cerullo? Commissioner Chen? Commissioner Delausse?
Yes.
Commissioner Del Toro?
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck?
Yes.
Commissioner Eady?
Yes.
Commissioner Levin?
Yes.
Calendar number 9 has been adopted. The next part of the calendar is the public hearing section on page 30. Borough of Queens, calendar number 10, CD 13, C140037, ZMQ. A public hearing in the matter of an application for an amendment of the zoning map concerning the Braddock Hillside rezoning.
Richard Lobel.
Good morning, Commissioners. Richard Lobel from the law firm of Sheldon Lobel, PC. Nice to see you here on this horrible, weather-filled day, as they say.
We have lots of speakers, Richard. So
I'll move it along. I heard there's a controversial, so I'll try to keep it short. Thank you for having me this morning. I'm here with Brian Grobman from Derp Associates, the owners of the property. And the property is 220-05 Hillside Avenue. This is known as the Braddock Hillside rezoning. As you can see from the map, the property is on the intersection of Hillside and Braddock Avenues. Measures about 97,000 square feet. The rezoning is very straightforward. The current zoning of the property is R32 with a C22 overlay, and the goal of the rezoning is to rezone this to a C41 zoning district. The property has been zoned with this zoning since the 1960s. In 1966, rezoning changed it from an R32 with a C12 to a C22 to accommodate greater uses. And the property is basically sat with a building which amounts to about 36,000 square feet since around 1997. I'm going to show you the zoning of the property right now. So as you can see from where the overlay is on the left, the existing zoning has this R32 with a C22 overlay, and the proposed zoning basically just would convert this to a C41. The zoning is very straightforward with regards to bulk. The bulk that would be permitted after the rezoning essentially stays the same as the current rezoning. There's a very useful comparison chart. Which basically discusses the modifications in bulk from the existing to the proposed rezoning, and with the exception of slight increases in the potential for residential and community facility, there's really very little difference. The real reason for this rezoning is for the use. Currently, there's a Sears hardware store on the site, and under the current C22 overlay, for commercial uses which exceed 10,000 square feet, you're really limited to, there it goes, okay, it's that kind of day. You're really limited to uses such as hardware stores or athletic goods stores in a C22. The C41 zoning expands that and now permits you to do use groups 10 and 12, which includes department stores or larger stores. So with the existing buildings on the site, there's about 36,000 square feet of building. The anchor tenant, Sears, is 25,000 square feet. And there's two smaller stores of 6,500 and 3,500 square feet, which are an AutoZone and a bank. The anchor tenant is in somewhat financial distress. If you look at publicly available information, Sears is having a tough time. And really what this rezoning is about is the ability for the owner to get new tenants into that larger space, for example, something like a TJ Maxx or a Marshall's, which would allow this property to remain productive going forward. I think that, I'll wrap up, I think that the local community board nearly unanimously understood this rationale, did not want to see the site go dark, and the borough president felt that this was meritorious as well, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Questions? Michelle?
Since you came all the way here.
Thank you. Please, fire away.
And so did we. So really, despite the fact that the rezoning would allow changes in terms of residential, that's not really the intention of the applicant at all. It's really just about the commercial use. And
absolutely. I mean, although there's the residential would potentially increase from a 0.6 to a 1.25, the understanding, given the fact that this is an extremely commercial thoroughfare with a Pizza Hut, Hess, McDonald's, Taco Bell all fronting this intersection, it's really an understanding that residential would not be appropriately placed here. The other reason that everyone was so supportive of this rezoning as we've come through the process is that the C41 actually has a greater parking requirement than the existing C22. So with the existing 36,000 square feet, we're required to have and do have 121 spaces, parking spaces at the site. Were we to demolish this building after the rezoning, we would immediately, if we put up the same building, be required to put in 240 spaces. It's infeasible, and I think everyone recognizes that really this is solely about the use here, that we're really trying to make sure that this stays a productive property in the community.
Okay. Commissioner Besser, did you have a question?
I just wanted to know if, I see here that the LPC received communication in support of the designation as well as some communication requesting that a property be removed from the proposed historic district. So I was just wondering.
Not Ronlin.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, never mind.
Please.
Okay, Commissioner Battaglia?
I really don't have a question. I just didn't want him to come here for no reason. But so.
Commissioner Levin?
I do have a question. Looking at the map and understanding how that intersection works, it seems to me that there's some similar properties at that intersection that could get similar treatment. As you were planning this application, was there any thought given to including the other properties?
I think that when we approached city planning and the department, they felt that this was appropriate to limit it to this property, given the fact that when you look at the zoning map, the C22 here is, particularly in this location on this side of the street, solely affects this property and an adjacent lot. So, while of course we are always subject to the department and whether or not they feel it should be expanded, they were comfortable just doing this property.
Thank you.
Sure.
Commissioner Reade? Okay. Are there any other questions for Mr. Lobel? Thank you, Richard.
Thanks for your time.
Are there any other speakers on this item? If there is not, the hearing is closed.
Borough of Manhattan, calendar number 11, CD2, N140213HKM. A public hearing in the matter of the communication regarding the landmark designation of the South Village Historic District.
Okay. It appears we have no speakers on this item. If that is in fact the case, then the hearing is closed. Madam Secretary, is there any other business before the commission today?
No vice chair.
You are certain of that, Madam Secretary?
Yes, I am.
Okay. The meeting is adjourned.